A stadium with 70 years of history in Mexico City, the Estadio Olímpico Universitario. Welcome to Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. It is Pumas UNAM of Mexico taking on Deportivo Saprissa of Costa Rica. Under the flag of Mexico, 70 degrees, no chance of rain, the wind is minimal, and the matchup is tremendous. 2-2 on aggregate as we enter the second leg in the round of 16. Glad to have you with us. Mike Watts on hand for the call. Here's a look at the tournament bracket as it stands right now. Colorado and Comunicaciones are currently locked in penalties. More on that shortly to come. NYCFC finishes off Santos, and Montreal, major moment for MLS over League MX. They come from behind 3-0 in the second leg, 3-1 on aggregate. The winner of this one will ultimately see New England Revolution, who had a walkover due to visa issues within the Cavalry team of Haiti. Let's take you back to Estadio, Ricardo Saprissa. What a tremendous game this was. The goal that wasn't, Christian Bolaños, it is his only back heel wrong in this game. Scoreless in the 28th minute, leaning header, no question. Washington Caroso, who scored 5 goals in the league for Pumas UNAM in the past calendar year. He opens the scoring in the 28th. This is not a penalty in real time, but as Champions League has taught us, VAR is back and with a vengeance. Freire comes in from behind. He did catch him. Bolaños won the penalty, he took the penalty, and he made the penalty. Very close. Alfredo Talavera, who's out with a right shoulder injury tonight, got a piece, not enough. 1-1. 71st minute. This is a bomb. Tremendous finish by Dinenno in the 72nd minute. The celebration, 2 road goals. Can Pumas maintain the advantage? Not that night. The long distance shot parried aside Talavera. He'd be injured in this. Bolaños scores, and age just a number. Saprissa 2, Pumas 2. And with that in mind, we welcome you to Mexico City tonight for the second leg. This is one of the few matchups in the round of 16 that, simply by its history, was deserving of being watched. It's a rematch of the 2005 CONCACAF Champions Cup final, the predecessor to the Champions League. It was on this very field that Saprissa got its most recent taste of the highest glory available in CONCACAF. And since that time, Saprissa has struggled to find the same level of international intrigue. They did win CONCACAF League, but ultimately the expectation, with 1 win in their last 12 going back to 2016, the expectation is higher. Such is the case when it's the Monster's Cave, the Purple Monster, the Monster of Costa Rica, trying to reclaim their rightful place. It's a group presently in 11th in Costa Rica. Make no mistake, the Ultras have made their way here. There are Saprissa fans in the building, and most certainly they will make their voice heard throughout the night. Meanwhile, for Pumas, 70 years in this fantastic venue, and Andres Lillini, you would argue, has got this team trending in the right direction despite a rash of injuries. They're going to be out Nico Freire. They're going to be without Alfredo Talavera. So some major losses defensively for a group that acknowledges that there weren't going to be reinforcements over the winter window. Just because they're dealing with injuries doesn't mean that the board was going to go spend inordinate amounts of money. Instead, believe in the Pumas system, in the project. They have 25 players in their first team. They do have a deal with Tabasco for more, and their under-20s. You'll see 2 members of their under-20s available on the bench tonight. No coach, perhaps in all of Liga MX, is more intrigued by the idea of handing players their debut shirt than Andres Lillini. So, for Pumas tonight, they'll try and deal with the injuries that are in front of them, maintain their advantage, grab an early goal here and recognize that they have the benefit of 2 road goals, something that no other team in Champions League other than NYCFC, who themselves have already advanced, were able to attain in the first leg this year. This stadium is far from full, and yet you feel the cogent energy in the air. Saprissa, one of the giants in this region. Modern, historic, doesn't matter. They've got some of the biggest names in recent Costa Rican history. None more so beloved than the captain, Christian Bolaños, of Pumas' side. There is youth, but there's also some expensive experience. There is extraordinary anticipation that this could be the year Pumas, 7-time winners in the domestic league, can add their 4th international star to their crest and the 1st in the Champions League era. The managers meet, the teams have taken the field. Pumas, Saprissa. It's 2-2 on aggregate, more fireworks to come. The Champions League anthem will serenade these 2 teams. Lineups and kickoff soon to follow. This is such a unique venue. It comes without some of the frills that you might find at the billion-dollar stadiums, but it more than makes up for it in charm. Pumas and Saprissa set to meet here in moments. Maybe the biggest match that Julio Gonzalez has been between the sticks for with Pumas. Joined the club in 2020 with Alfredo Talavera out tonight. He moves into the 11. Freire is out as well. Islas, Rodriguez, Alvarez, and Diogo enter into the 11. And Patokio, Velarde, and Saucedo will sit. Those are the captains. They met a moment ago. They both wear number 2, Alan Mosso and Christian Bolaños. For Guatemala, not only did they get a team into the quarterfinals, Comunicaciones have just unseated Colorado, but Mario Escobar oversees this match. Here's the 11 for Iñaki Alonso. Aaron Cruz starts in goal. He was tremendous in the first leg. Walter Cortez steps in at left back, and Derrickson Vuelto comes out. The idea certainly a little more defensive. Drew Fisher of Canada and O'Shane Nation of Jamaica are the eyes in the sky overseeing the match tonight in a tournament that has already seen some twists and turns by way of VAR, including this tie already. Saprissa would never consider themselves a minnow, certainly not in Costa Rica. You could say the same for Comunicaciones, who perhaps in a cosmic sort of way have already set the tone for this match, even though the players took the field before the result was finalized. Put simply, this is the greatest club in Costa Rica on an international and a domestic stage. Therefore, nothing seems too big. Even this massive venue that holds over 50,000 and a ruckus Pumas crowd. Soak it in. The first leg, 2 goals apiece. Pumas lead on away goal. Now they defend their home field. Saprissa and Pumas in the Champions League round of 16. Bolaños. Soars overhead, brought down by David. Wonderful dicing ball into a wide area. Early delivery came up short of Dinenno. Alvarez, Lopez. Fabio Alvarez again. He is a regular starter within the first team. Reaching toward the end line, slide in, sends this away. Gerald Taylor, the 20-year-old defender. He's only started now 6 games. This is the biggest set of floodlights he's ever featured under. It certainly didn't look too big for him in the first leg. Takes out Caroso, who scored the opener last week. Lopez, the service. There's the Pumas manager, Andres Lillini. Arrived in 2017 to direct the academy. Initially, he was the interim, but he's earned the trust of the board here. And certainly, as they've moved up to 6th in the Clausura, he's gained the trust of the Pumas faithful. After reaching the semifinal a year ago from the 11th position in the league table. Jimmy Marine couldn't catch up to that. Now there's just 3 quarterfinalists that remain unsettled. This Pumas Saprissa game was the highest scoring of the first legs in the round of 16. New England got through with no care in the world. Visa issues for Cavalier. They've been watching and waiting in the tall grass. The Supporters Shield winners in MLS a year ago. With Montreal's result, they'll see their Forge of Canada or Cruz Azul. Ball laid forward here for Pumas. Islas. Caroso wanted that flighted, and Dinenno was running through the middle of the area as well. Ultimately for Taylor, a simple intervention. But on this half of the bracket, many would have picked Santos and Cruz Azul to advance. Set up an all-Mexican quarterfinal. That will not be the case with Santos going down just moments ago. Taken out of the air, Dinenno. The same way most probably thought there would be an All-American quarterfinal. But with the Rapids going down in penalties to Comunicaciones, they'll see NYCFC. Dinenno sending this to a kneeling, sure-handed Aaron Cruz. Ryan Bolaños. Christian Bolaños. Espinosa. Taylor. Appeal for a handball. Play continues through Torres. Runs beyond Rodriguez. Alan Mosel. Here's the Saprissa manager. Iñaki Alonso, Iñaki out, they've chanted. And yet, the amount of turnover among coaches at Saprissa, unbecoming of a club of its stature, just unable to maintain course over the past 14 months. Reaching the touchline, and indeed Diogo last to touch it and couldn't successfully keep that in. Bypassing Torres. Diogo and Dinenno lead the line. They're combining now. Dinenno couldn't swing his foot through it. Guzman was there. Rolled outside and handled by Cruz, with Juan Dinenno chasing. Also, pressure from Islas. Back heeled by Christian Bolaños. Let's see if this stayed in. I bet there's chalk on the underside of that ball. David Guzman, 7-time champion in Costa Rica, 3 years in Portland, sent to Columbus. Bolaños serves this wide. Marine punched away. This is ripped and saved from the top of the 6. What a rip that is. Bolaños chasing. Still more Marine. Saprissa pummeling the Puma area. Marine's initial service off his line, the newcomer to the lineup, Gonzalez. Guzman hammers that. It's another iffy touch from Gonzalez. So much power behind that. Tenth minute. Saprissa looking to take the advantage in the tie. Torres, that is caught by the 30-year-old Mexican goalkeeper. And Pumas are on the run. 5 white shirts, 5 retreating in purple. Mozo with the deflection, hammered away by Torres onto the track. It'll be Lopez to put this in play. Swings the cross in. Didn't find Galindo. Lopez once more. It's the defensive header that leads to another Pumas corner. Lopez will take the set pieces from both sides. His third different club to represent in Champions League. Toluca, Leon previously. Debuting back in 2014 in the competition. Lopez swings away, header is in. Pumas open the scoring. Arturo Ortiz. They led on away goal, now they lead 3-2 on aggregate. Saprissa just 2 minutes prior, chaotic moments in the opposite penalty area. One too many opportunities on set pieces. Ortiz rises and like a marksman, perfection by Cruz. A clean header from 8 yards. And Cruz totally outstretched. The kind of celebration that comes with a little more breathing room. The threat of penalties still loom. The first leg, 2-2. Take that same result to send us there. But now away goals as they are, Saprissa needs 2 goals to pass Pumas. Ortiz. Caroso. Taylor concedes the corner. Saprissa is walking a dangerous line. Lionel Lopez assisted the previous goal off a corner, and now this is swatted at, sent away by Cruz. The whistle blows. David. Skips forward, Bolaños torn away from the ball. David. Espinosa. Pumas 3-2 up on aggregate now by way of Ortiz. Domineering header off the corner by Lopez. Marine. Now an opportunity for Saprissa the other way. This is not a team endowed with tremendous height. David, probably the tallest of the group, at about 6'2", maybe 6'3". You saw him there, 52 in purple. Service swinging in, ball bouncing down and right into the hands of Gonzalez. And he starts it the other way as quickly as he can. Mozo. Lopez. Lopez available. Just beyond his reach. Bolaños. How technical was that? Come out of midfield. Guzman. Flag is down for now. Bolaños trailing. Angulo, now the flag arrives. Foul from David. A little excessive there, I suppose. Ball slipped ahead. Cruz won't get there. Corner Pumas. This corner deflects away. There's something here for Angulo. Marine, that's a heavy touch. Christian Bolaños. Flag up once more. David. Driving in, Ryan Bolaños. Game starting to find a more appropriate tempo now. Pulled in by Taylor. What an atmosphere tonight. Olympic Stadium in Mexico City. Rodriguez upended by that. Across midfield. Bolaños couldn't cut it off. Islas. David, now Torres. This sits up nicely. The spin from Lopez. Guzman. Slide through, Angulo. Chopped down by Alvarez. Never quite got to the ball, impedes the play. Bolaños. Free kick, Saprissa. And Ryan Bolaños pays quite the price. Angulo and Torres will look in. Torres holding the captain's armband will come in from the left side. It will be Torres. Or maybe it is Angulo. Angulo delivers. Massive collision. Gonzalez and David. Those are two big bodies coming together. Wow. You hope they're both okay. Biggest player on the field for Saprissa, one of the 2 or 3 biggest players on the field for Pumas. Colliding, looking for the ball. And notably, Julio Gonzalez has a far less experienced backup with Alfredo Talavera out due to a right shoulder injury. Gonzalez himself is the reserve. Well, Saprissa clearly thought that ball was intended to reach them. Alas, it is with Pumas. And this is a yellow card to David Guzman for descent. Something to keep an eye on. He is not the cleanest of disciplinary records. "14 cards and a red in 27 matches since the start of the Apertura. So we'll have to play on a bit of a tightrope moving forward. In goes Torres. He's taking the ball for Saprissa. Guzman. That escapes. Ortiz delivers upfield, stabbed outside. Islas off the outside of the net from Diogo. David involved defensively. Taylor bites to try and keep Diogo out of that, and David ultimately the last line of defense. Service across, header down, that is saved by Cruz. An explosive yell from Diogo. Precise distribution. Bolaños. Marine. Bolaños. Ryan Bolaños brought that down well. Options arriving. Moso won't get there. Look at the previous header down. Diogo clearly thought he had beaten Cruz. The corner. Pumas have been explosive down this right flank. That's a foul. That's a card. Cortez, second Saprissa player booked. Moso. Header steered up. Diogo thought about it. Alvarez. Mozo. Over the penalty area once more. The header steered where Cruz can leap and recover. Dinenno that time. It's an aerial assault right now from Pumas. Set pieces, flank service. And it continues. Dinenno ahead. Diogo pushes outside. Caroso ahead. Dinenno. Came off of David, corner Pumas. The corner. Rolled ahead, Geronimo Rodriguez, one of the dozen players who've debuted under Lillini as the manager. His second year directing the first team. Islas, back heel keeps it alive. Dinenno's creation ultimately ended in an offside position. So it's not this, it's that. Pumas look like world beaters tonight. Climbing the table in the Mexican First Division. They wanted a result away, didn't want to have to suffer through the second leg. Well, they've been on the front foot in this second leg, and they did, in fact, get an away result. Saprissa looking to draw level and pull within 1 goal of the advantage. Marine Gonzalez. Away goals as they are, Saprissa needs 2 to overcome the deficit. Ortiz. Islas. Dumps this forward, Dinenno. One here by Saprissa. And now ahead, Bolaños! Bolaños! Gonzalez parries it wide. If he has to put the entire team on his back, he will, Christian Bolaños. Marine. Shiftily back. Marine again. Bolaños comes available. Marine now. Sprinting to the touchline, Ryan Bolaños. Ooh. Runs onto the track. Christian Bolaños unleashing. Went for the short post. Throw for Alan Moso. Shows a good bit of sportsmanship checking on Ryan Bolaños, who were the wrong kind of spikes for the track. Bolaños appeals for a handball. Play continues. Roped into the Saprissa half. Pumas were clear. This is not exactly a rematch. The 2005 final in the Concacaf Champions Cup. Yes, it is the same 2 clubs, But if you look at some of the youngest players involved tonight, Jose Luis Caicedo could get into this game. He's 19 years old. Talking about a toddler when that game was played. Still, history for these two clubs so wide-ranging. Bolaños, the flag is down. He reverses. He had Marine with him. Marine off the mark. Andres Lilini, the Pumas manager, said the illusion is intact. But tonight, not about revenge. Revenge for nothing, he said. Look at the Saprissa faithful. Diogo tried to put that down. Pumas do in fact possess. Islas. Lopez. Staggering back Alvarez. Mozo. Settled turning shot. Washington Caroso doesn't really have fear, does he? Diogo trying to hold on to this. The deflection from Saprissa kept by Pumas UNAM. Caroso. Islas. Dinenno. Caroso. Cruz backs toward his line. Omar Islas. Mozo. Flicked over. Caroso now. Play continues still. All the way through. Dinenno was waiting in front of the penalty spot. The service never came. Alvarez. Pumas have been fantastic tonight in the grand scheme. Couple opportunities for Saprissa. The tie far from secure. Mozo. Held in by Rodriguez. Alvarez. Slicing all the way through. In goes Taylor at the edge of the penalty area. Dinenno went down. Guzman trying to relieve pressure. Caroso rolling on the ground. Saprissa trying to put this game back on their terms. There's a half dozen players pressing in the Saprissa half. Onside. If that touch is just a little cleaner from Dinenno, he's gone. What an insightful pass. Ahead, Torres. He's through. He blasts high. That's offside as well. The referee allowing that play to continue. Perhaps it did touch the gloves of Gonzalez, but it's academic after the fact. There's the ball forward, and indeed he's a solid foot or two over. Good line played by Pumas. As we approach halftime, 3.5 minutes and stoppage to go. For Pumas, one more goal and 2 Saprissa goals. The worst that could happen, go to penalties. So there is value to that. For Saprissa, 1 tonight will not be enough. Into the flank from Alvarez, ahead for Diogo, header away by David. Taylor. Ortiz. Torres comes sprinting away from the pack. A throw for Saprissa. They scored about this time in the opening leg. It was a penalty awarded by VAR. Pumas thought that had cleared the line. Had not. Guzman. Good ball leading into the corner. Marine. As dangerous 1v1 player as Saprissa has in their ranks. Swung all the way through Ryan Bolaños. Christian Bolaños. The flag stayed down initially. Christian Bolaños may well have been behind. Bolaños. Good speed to this half. Can't imagine there's a lot of stoppage to be had. Run through midfield, sees Taylor splay out. And a yellow card for Leonel Lopez. It's the first card for a Pumas player tonight. Add that to Guzman and Cortez, whose names are scribbled on the referee's notepad. Floated forward. Saw Bolaños sort of flail out at that, hoping it was going to come short of Gonzalez. 1 added minute. Taylor. You can see the tempo at which Saprissa is trying to move here. Maybe get one more chance before halftime. They do need 2 goals. Be a very different team talk if they got one here in the final seconds. Guzman. Torres. Torres floats ahead. The flag is down. Bolaños. And surely halftime beckons. Indeed it does. Arturo Ortiz opens the scoring. Desperately needed breathing room for Pumas. And they run the game in the first half. A domineering header from Ortiz off the corner kick of Lena Lopez. And Pumas lead 3-2 on aggregate. And they have two crucial away goals, as there appears to be just a bit of frustration among the ranks of both sides. After a first half that could have seen Pumas up by more. And the Saprissa side trying to find their sea legs here, this magnificent venue. Halftime in Mexico City. In the second leg of the round of 16, Pumas 1, Saprissa 0. On aggregate, Pumas 3, Saprissa 2.
Scotiabank es orgulloso patrocinador de la Liga de Campeones Concacaf Scotiabank 2022, porque el fútbol inspira a niños y transforma futuros. Sigue Scotiabank Fútbol Club en Facebook para conocer más de nuestras iniciativas en torno al fútbol. Qatar Airways, la aerolínea oficial de la Liga de Campeones Concacaf Scotiabank. Garantiza tu puesto para la Copa Mundial en Qatar con nuestros increíbles paquetes de viajes. Cómpralos ahora en qatarairways.com/FIFA 2022. Para las últimas noticias, estadísticas y lo más destacado del partido, visita la página oficial Concacaf Champions League.
Mexico City, two managers under the weight of expectations. Saprissa taking on Pumas UNAM. Pumas, the dominant team in the first half without question. Taylor knocking that ball away. Dinenno creating, Cruz able to bring that down. It was not a first half without some physicality and some testy confrontations. Saprissa created couple decent chances. Guzman trailing. Bolaños looking for his second goal off a rebound in as many games in Champions League. He wouldn't get there in time, and less than 2 minutes later, Pumas strike. Rising over the rest, Arturo Ortiz. 12th minute of play. 3-2 Pumas, 1-0 in the second leg. And a worthy celebration from the Pumas manager under so much strain due to losses within the team. Gonzalez, sometimes better to be lucky than good, was able to pull that in. This wide of Cruz. Bolaños brought down here. Diogo ultimately would carry him off of David. Saprissa bend but don't break for the most part. Cruz making a good stop on Diogo. Doesn't take closed captioning to understand the emotion of Diogo there. As Pumas hunting for their second. Cortez for this, with Pumas on the break, would pick up the yellow card. Cruz making another decent stop off wide service. And the best opportunity, arguably, for Saprissa the first half. Bolaños sneaking in behind. Good save from Gonzalez. He parries it wide enough out that it pretty well stemmed off any follow-up. And if not for the intervention there of Taylor and Dinenno's inability to lead himself, perhaps another opportunity for Pumas goes by the wayside. This is a game where arguably stats do matter. 9 total shots, 9 total fouls, possession in favor of Pumas. They largely make sense here. Saprissa, 2 pretty decent opportunities. They'll need to score 2 if they're to advance in Concacaf Champions League. It's 3-2 on aggregate, and in the second leg at halftime, Pumas 1, Saprissa 0.
Apoya a tu equipo votando por el mejor jugador del partido. Vota en Twitter vía @TheChampions. Protección Civil UNAM informa. El personal de Protección Civil está debidamente identificado. Visten chaleco color naranja. En caso de emergencia, permanece en tu lugar. Mantén despejados túneles, pasillos y salidas. Las rampas de emergencia se utilizarán únicamente cuando personal de Protección Civil dé la indicación. En caso de activarse la alerta sísmica, conserva la calma, permanece en tu lugar y espera las indicaciones del personal de Protección Civil. Recuerda que el Estadio Olímpico es un recinto seguro. Por tu seguridad, no está permitido permanecer sobre el pretil. Si te acompañan menores de edad, no los pierdas de vista. En caso de evacuación, mantén la calma y recuerda el principio: no corro, no grito y no empujo. Sigamos disfrutando del partido con seguridad.
Time is of the essence for the team in purple. Saprissa has 45 minutes in which to change the narrative in Champions League here tonight. They need 2 goals away to Pumas to repeat the feat that they experienced some 17 years ago in the Concacaf Champions Cup. To come here and unseat Pumas UNAM in front of their home faithful. One of the better crowds we've seen in the round of 16 of Champions League, a highly anticipated matchup. Pumas take the field 1-0 up on the night, 3-2 up on aggregate. And on a day where certainly there are events of greater magnitude, these 2 teams sharing the field harkens back to a different time in this region, in football at least, a time in which teams outside of Mexico actually won the CONCACAF club title. Saprissa, the last team to unseat Mexico in CONCACAF. And now they try to unseat Pumas once again. Second half is underway. Saprissa need 2 goals to overturn the margin. Firing out of the gate, a chance for Pumas. Knocked back across. Cruz trying to cover that ground. Diogo watches this scream out of play. What a massive start. Corner Pumas. How they punished Saprissa on these corners. The service, Diogo away from Caroso. Good defending by Torres. Lionel Lopez. That right foot has been a wand tonight. Lopez away from Dinenno. Ball flicks free off Alvarez and bouncing wide off the deflection. Saprissa, if they were to concede, still only need 2 goals to get it to penalties. Make no mistake, for them to extend it beyond these 90 minutes, they'll need 2 goals regardless. But for Pumas right now, they are knocking on the door vociferously. Diogo, Dinenno await in the middle of the penalty area. Lopez, back set header away from Caroso. Header out toward Bolaños. Didn't find Marine. Halftime sees 2 sides unchanged. You see Lopez is on a yellow card for Pumas. 2 players for Saprissa, Cortez and Guzman on yellow cards. Brought in by Galindo, but he fouled Ryan Bolaños. The scoreline doesn't make you believe right now just how hotly contested this game is about to become. Ortiz, who scored the opener in this game, the yellow card now in the 48th. Whichever team advances, those cards most certainly come into play. Galindo is the one who went through. It was Ortiz who he flashed the card toward. You have to think that'll be Galindo going into the book here. Julio Gonzalez stepping in for Alfredo Talavera. Floated toward David. First header's clear. Second header's out, corner. Okay, it's not the foul. It's the commentary from Ortiz, and yes, the throw at the end. Ortiz is the one in the book. Corner, Saprissa. Karams to the backside, Angulo will allow this out. Another corner to come. Santos de Guapoulis thoroughly whomped by NYCFC over 2 legs. The other Costa Rican side, 6-0. It's been a mixed bag for Mexico thus far. León handled Guastatoya, and Montreal coming from behind against Santos Laguna. This could be the end of Costa Rica in this tournament. Could be a turning point for Mexico, one way or the other. The service. Screaming free. There's Ryan Bolaños! Golazo, Saprissa! It fell to the 23-year-old. Who scores a magnificent goal for Saprissa. They're 1 goal away. First header away from Ortiz. It was kept alive, and Ryan Bolaños scores one of the goals of the tournament. And what a vital time to do it. And when everyone thought it would be Christian Bolaños who would keep Saprissa alive, it's Ryan Bolaños who celebrates. Opportunity blossoming. Diogo goes down. For Ryan Bolaños, his first goal in a Saprissa uniform. The 14th as a professional, dating back to 2017. Diogo wins the free kick. The service down, it's pushed away by Cruz. Diogo rose to it. He feels like he can't buy a goal. This venue, it feels like it's shaking. Belongs to Saprissa. Ryan Bolaños scoring the goal of his life, and Diogo quite nearly responded in kind in mere minutes. Towering above once more. How many chances will it take for Diogo to finally open his scoring account? It is 3-3. The aggregate still favors the away goals garnered by Pumas. Good from Bolaños, struck from a long way out, and Angulo puts that right to Gonzalez. Pumas preparing a change. Maratau is angled toward the manager for his final instructions. Puma was not looking for your sympathy. The injuries they sustained, Frede and Talavera, center back and goalkeeper. The injuries that they've dealt with previously in this season. Away from Caroso, which side of the flag? Referee's gesturing for a corner. One wonders, Diogo's number is on the card. He will in fact come out before the corner where he'd been so dominant. First substitution by either side. Diogo's going to feel really hard done that he did not score tonight. He goes to the nearest line and exits the game. Igor Maratau comes in, a 27-year-old Brazilian. Corner, Pumas, Lopez. Headers away. Bolaños holding. Ryan Bolaños. The goal that puts Saprissa 1 goal away from overtaking Pumas. Caroso, Cruz. Islas, not to be. Corner for Lopez. Lopez delivers over Islas, away from Guzman. Alvarez got it wide. Mosul continues down the line. Islas taken on by Bolaños. A throw for Pumas. Tremendous. Mosul kept the ball. Player goes sprawling out. Caroso in the penalty area. Continues for Pumas. The service pushed aside. Torres sits up kindly. What a run up by Mosul. Skied forward. Taylor upending his mark. Galindo holds it. Something of note, should either of these teams make the semifinal, as this ball driven ahead. Good first ball away. The results, win, loss, draw, do in fact count toward retaining home field advantage for the second leg, starting in the semifinal. Ball toward Marine. Out to Torres. Marine. After that tough fall moments ago, Rodriguez still laboring. Torres. A couple draws, regardless of who advances, could be fatal to trying to get home field advantage for the second leg come the semifinals. So it does remain an important game to win, regardless of whether you advance. Couple slides, excellent from Washington Caroso. We've gone an hour. Saprissa, the equalizer tonight, to pull it back to 3-3. They trail on away goals. The only instance that could send this to penalties is 2-2. The identical score of the first leg in Costa Rica. Ball for Dinenno. No. Contested by Espinosa. Down the line. That's a golf shot. Ryan Bolaños slid out by Moso, a throw for Saprissa. You'll note the S on their kits, unsullied by stars. There'd be too many if you consider their 36 domestic titles. But at the top of the back of their shirt, the pride, their international trophies. They won the leading trophy in Concacaf 3 times, 1993, 95, most recently in 2005. A trophy they hoisted on this field against this team. Options percolating. A scatter shot cross. Gliding forward for Dinenno. David kept it out of harm's way, and it's cleared away from the end line. Cortez arrived. Return off the mark to Maritao. Bolaños over to Torres. Bolaños wants this to his feet. Marine was streaking in behind. He was in an offside position. Bolaños has stepped in front of Alvarez. Taylor. Bolaños. Torres. Bolaños was fouled. Action continues unimpeded. Marine making that run around the outside once more. Torres sees this deflected. Pumas on the run. Dinenno leading the line. Taken away by Taylor. He's been magnificent, but he gave this right back. And now Pumas, perhaps a bit out of position. This is well out of play. Support on either side. Yake Alonso, after Islas misfires. This is one of the bigger moments of his tenure, as short as it may be. Less than a calendar year at the helm. Time in Spain and Croatia, the 53-year-old. A foul. Mozo pushed down by Ryan Bolaños. Islas. Cortez got a piece. Floated over Caroso. Free kick Saprissa. Crowd doesn't quite care for that. Saprissa still. The hair rises on the back of your neck. The sound, the singing. There's joy still in this building. Pumas holds the advantage. And yet Saprissa is tantalizingly close to what most would say is a cataclysmic upset. Just hours after Santos Laguna goes down, hours after Comunicaciones takes out Colorado Rapids. Pumas in front of this ruckus crowd, protecting that tenuous away goal advantage. Dumped in over the back line. Ryan Bolaños stepping in to the feet of Islas. They seek Mozo down the line once more. Bolaños has cut it off, and he is brought down by Alan Mozo. Francisco Rodriguez, moments from checking in, set to make his Concacaf League, Champions League rather, Saprissa debut. Signed after the Concacaf League campaign in December. Arriving on the scene, 29-year-old from Alajuela. Away from Bolaños by Galindo. Player down, play continues. Bolaños nearly for Marine. Galindo is there, injured Pumas player. Pumas will put this out. here's the change. Marvin Angulo, more impactful in the first half than the second. So the midfielder comes off. And the striker by trade comes on, seeking the goal here. There is no extra time in CONCACAF Champions League until the final. As a result, you can play for the win now if you're Saprissa without fear. You have to go another 30 minutes. You also get the benefit of 5 substitutes. Maritao came on as a substitute. Ankles being iced. Whether he can continue or not in question, one would imagine. And as a result, for now, Pumas with Sebastian Saucedo warming, playing with 10 on the field. Maritao raises his hand. He's ready to return, and the referee welcomes him back to the game. Pumas 3, Saprissa 3. The 2 road goals a week ago, the difference. Ortiz scored in the 12th, a header off a set piece. Ryan Bolaños, tremendous goal in the 51st. That has put Saprissa just 1 goal away from overturning the deficit. A yellow card for time wasting. Rodriguez becomes the 3rd in the book for Pumas. Dinenno. Alvarez. Caroso swings in front all the way through. Dinenno dummied that out. With a deflection, this will be caught by Cruz. Marine. Saprissa suffering domestically, 11th in the league. League only holds 12. Pumas last year 11th, reaching the Liguilla, the penultimate position, reaching the semifinal, moved up to 6th. It appears the referee, Mario Escobar, has had enough of Alvarez. It's Mozo going in on Ryan Bolaños. And here's the card, Alvarez into the book for dissent. Put another way, Ortiz for dissent, Alvarez for dissent, Rodriguez for time wasting, and Lopez for a foul. 4 yellow cards on Pumas. Compare that to a pair for Saprissa. Marine heads forward, flag is down for now. Torres. Barroso. Ball swung across. Dinenno! This crowd explodes. 4-3, the aggregate score. Saprissa now need a goal to get this to penalties. For Pumas, much needed insurance. What a spin around Espinosa. What a dynamic finish from Dinenno. And Pumas in much better position. Alvarez, the celebration. And a glorious moment for Dinenno. The way this game has oscillated does in fact feel so much like the first. Dinenno scored in the 72nd then. 3 minutes later, Saprissa equalized. This is starting to feel like the kind of match where 17,000 people are in the building, but 50,000 will say they were. Pressing back, rolls out. After the assist moments ago, Geronimo Rodriguez allows this out. Cortez will sprint off. And Saprissa now plays with house money. In comes Ariel Rodriguez, another attacking player for Saprissa. You could call this 3 in the back. It may end up feeling like less than that. Second sub, second window for Saprissa. Walter Cortez was on a yellow card. He's off. Chance here for Pumas through Islas. Clearance whisked into the air. Lopez, that's a high boot from the newcomer. Play continues. It was aimed at Dinenno from Moso. Player still down. And of course, VAR can always go back and look. Minimum wheel look, and Rodriguez with that high boot catches the crown right at Lopez's hairline. Two changes are in the offing for Pumas. David. Moso. Rodriguez. Rodriguez touched it last. This has been such an exciting tie. Santiago Trigos comes in. He debuted for for Lilini against Atlas, the 20-year-old Mexican, will now feature in Champions League just days later. And Saucedo comes in as well. Player who grew up through Real Salt Lake, a brief stint at Veracruz. Notably, Marital, who came in himself as a substitute, comes off now. Perhaps that injury a little more than initially let on. And Lionel Lopez, who is on a yellow card, coming off as well. He's the magic man on set pieces for Pumas. Right now, with the advantage they hold, doesn't appear they're playing to grab set pieces. They're trying to see this out the other way. Ryan Bolaños coming through, commits the foul, free kick, Pumas. Omar Islas remains down. Spent time at the affiliated club in the second division, Pumas Tabasco. Quarry that Pumas has had to test a little more significantly of late. In goes Espinosa. Slid forward, Guzman after it again. Maybe there's something here, Saucedo. Alvarez. Islas wanted that played forward instead for Dinenno! There won't be penalties tonight. Dinenno's third of the tournament. Pumas third of the night. The quarterfinals beckon for Pumas. Medina will come in for Guzman at the stop. It may be too little too late. David out to pasture. He rushes forward, and Dinenno, the shadow behind him, simply misjudged. And Cruz, who in the first half kept Saprissa within striking distance, unable to keep Dinenno's effort out. Penalties are no longer in the offing. Dinenno's goal here in the 82nd minute guarantees that fact. Saprissa, as was the case when the half began, need 2. Throw for Pumas. 2 goals for Saprissa. They would take it on away goals. Such a valiant effort. Mosel. So critical tonight for Pumas UNAM. Ryan Bolaños. throw, Saprissa. Rodriguez. And you'll wonder if Saprissa has simply exerted too much energy. What they have left in the tank. Ryan Bolaños. Cruz. Saprissa need 2 goals or they leave the tournament. Won't leave with their tail stuck between their legs. But it would be ultimately disappointing. The way they fought in the first leg to draw level, not once but twice. Marine. Back heel on. Changes coming. This is the first team debut for Jose Luis Caicedo. He wears number 195. In Liga MX, he wears 36 here tonight. Fabio Alvarez off.
Sale con el número 9, Juan Dinenno. Entra con el número 21, Rogerio de Oliveira.
Rogerio coming in. And Dinenno, give this man his roses tonight. 2 goals after the second goal in the first leg, which in hindsight proves so important. He scores 2 goals 8 minutes apart, the 75th and the 82nd. After scoring in the 72nd minute of the opening leg. And put him at the top of the leaderboard, most goals in this tournament thus far. Marine. Steering forward. Header falls. Christian Bolaños couldn't settle. If Saprissa can get 1, maybe they can dream. Ryan Bolaños. Christian Bolaños wanted that played wide to him. Now Torres has gotten it there. Purple shirts race into the area. Christian Bolaños. He overcooked it. Taylor turns the corner. Taylor crossing. Clearance by Ortiz. Torres. Bolaños serves. Header down, Marine spins. Flag would have been up either way. Clearly in an offside position. And the opportunities for Saprissa now a precious few. Couple of stoppages and the deluge of goals in this second half. There could be a decent amount of time here. Here's a look at said deluge. Dinenno steering the header by. Breathing room for Saprissa in the 75th minute. '82nd minute, Dinenno would strike again. maybe there's another 5 minutes here to be had. Settled by Saprissa. Running out of room. Good ball up the line. A tug at the back. A free kick to Saprissa. Risk Galindo's willing to take at this stage. At this stage as well, Mariano Torres can only afford the best. Goalkeeper not forward yet. Torres soars overhead. Siphoned off here. Medina. David. Ryan Bolaños. Marine fouled. Caroso, 4 added minutes. Ultimately, Julio Gonzalez has gotten the job done tonight in place of Alfredo Talavera. But there's simply no room for error at this point. A goal off this set piece would lead to a wild final couple of minutes. Torres has taken the set pieces. Now he lines up his best chance on a set piece tonight. Torres off the wall. Thrown into Medina. Espinosa. Espinosa, Marine. Slashed back, Marine from the end line. Comes out Espinosa. They reload. Espinosa, corner Saprissa. And quickly Saprissa is slipped into the point at which they'll need absolute perfection. They need 2 goals. The corner. Another to come. That was Caroso. Torres came off of Christian Bolaños, floated back over the penalty area, and half of Saprissa was in an offside position. This is launched the other way. Starting from beyond midfield. Pumas could add one more. Clever contact. Play on. Christian Bolaños now. Mere seconds now that separate Pumas from the quarterfinal. Mosul, the finish, the exclamation point. That is that for Pumas. 6-3 on aggregate, they will advance. Rogerio comes in off the bench and provides the finishing touch. For Aaron Cruz, the frustration. The tie already won, in essence, by this point. But Rogério de Oliveira, final nail in Saprissa's coffin. What an atmosphere, what a performance, what an onslaught. Up against the ropes, Pumas respond. And Pumas do advance to the quarterfinals. 4-1 in the second leg. And 6-3 in aggregate. 3 goals down the stretch to put it out of reach. Saprissa with a great goal from Bolaños, 2 goals from Christian Bolaños in the first leg. Put up a valiant effort. But Pumas will celebrate in front of their fans, who likely had revenge on their minds, even if it hadn't crossed those of the players or the staff. 4-1 tonight, Pumas over Saprissa. 6-3 on aggregate. Pumas are on to the quarterfinals. And they will see New England. Full-time highlights in Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. Saprissa taking on Pumas UNAM. And so many opportunities. This game was wild. Guzman from distance denied after Angulo couldn't score. Marine followed. This came inside 10 minutes. The time Saprissa only needed 1 goal to turn the tide. But the math would soon change massively. 12th minute. Lopez finding Ortiz. Pumas the advantage. 3-2. They led on away goals coming into the night. That gave them some breathing room. That breathing room would dissipate, but not before halftime. Christian Bolaños denied. And at halftime, 1-0, 3-2 the aggregate score. Pumas came out firing at the outset of the second half, but it was Saprissa that draw first blood. Ryan Bolaños, a goal to savor and remember, even in what ultimately ends as a losing effort. A gorgeous strike, kept alive by Guzman and David. 3-3 on aggregate. It was only away goals, a wafer-thin margin, but Dinenno would quickly expand on that. Juan Dinenno scoring in the 75th minute, made it 4-3. Next goal for Saprissa could only take it to penalties. Pumas could breathe again. They did a lot more than that. Mosso, tremendous in this game. And Dinenno steers a second by Aaron Cruz, who was so in tune in the first half. Some massive saves. Suddenly it began to feel out of reach. And then the exclamation point at the end. Rogério adds the finale, 4th of the night, 6th in totality, 6-3 the aggregate score. Pumas UNAM advance. So after a wild 2-2 draw in the first leg, 4-1 the aggregate score in the second leg in Mexico City. Pumas UNAM will take on New England Revolution in the quarterfinal of Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League in 2 short weeks' time. For our entire team at home and abroad, Mike Watts saying thanks for watching, and so long from Mexico City.